I'm so glad to be on this cross-campus tour because students, university students, are key to our transition to sustainability within a generation. Why are you key to this project? Well, first of all, your youth. You have, and because of this, you have everything at stake. We will spend our entire adult lives in this new ecological situation. And because we may have everything to lose in terms of our future, but we also have nothing to lose in terms of our investment in an old school, crumbling way of doing things. So the second reason why we are powerful is because we have freedom. Young people don't have investment in the 20th century economy. We're not afraid of losing our stocks and bonds and investments and RRSPs like our parents are, because they invested their whole lives in that system. And so students today are free to think outside the box and think of different ways of doing things. And as such, there's a lot of opportunity. You can identify the opportunities and the potential of sustainability. You can see the writing on the wall. See that the new way of doing things will actually be ways you can have a career and make your mark in the world. Another reason is your education. University students, you are essential to our society. Right now, your job is to become experts in our society and help our society and, in fact, our whole species to move forward in a progressive way. We here in this room are powerful. We are literate. We are educated. We speak English in a world where English is the most widely used language. We know how to use phones. We have phones. We know how to use computers. We have access to libraries through the internet. We have access to any information that we want. We live in a democratic country. We even live in a small democracy where we could actually even contact our elected leaders. We live in a tolerant society. We live in a society where women have equal rights. We've been born into a small part of the human community that does not face major challenges to our daily survival, where each one of us here has the opportunity to become a leader. So how do we do this? I've been traveling with this gang across Western Canada and asking university students 3 things. We need you to become, first of all, we need you to become experts in sustainability. We need everyone in every field, in every interest, to become the experts in making a sustainable transition. So, economic students, we need you. We need you to figure out what a sustainable economy really looks like. We need you to look at the research that Bob Costanza at the University of Vermont is doing with ecosystem services and his conversation, his idea of hosting a new Bretton Woods. We need you to learn about Peter Victor's work at York University and the concept of his new book, The Limits of Growth. Biology, ecology students, we need you. We need you to figure out exactly what's happening out in the ecosystems. We need you to know about what Daniel Pauly at in the Fisheries Department is traveling around researching and saying to the public. Sociology, psychology, history students, we need you. We need you to analyze social movements throughout history and figure out what are the elements that promote social change. What are movements that have been successful in the past, and how? Chemists, we need you. We need you to know about the dead zones in our oceans. We need you to figure out how to mine the great plastic soup in the North Pacific Gyre and figure out how we clean up that mess that is the size of the continental US. Engineers, we need you. We need you to find out what the best technology is, what Norway and Denmark have invested into in their renewable energy projects. My second ask is that we need you to become also political. We need you to become advocates. This is an era that calls on all of us to up our civic engagement. You are becoming educated. You are becoming the experts. You need to tell the world what you are finding. What are the risks with the old school ways of doing things? And most importantly, what are the opportunities and examples for introducing sustainability? We have to get to the halls of power. We have to shift legislation. We have to ensure, demand that our governments make the sustainable shift. And part of the tour here is a push to get political, beginning with the petition that the Canadian Federation of Students is promoting. And I think one of the most exciting things about this tour is the partnership between unions, between students, and the environmental movement. Finally, my third ask of you is to use your generational power. And this is partially why I started off showing you a speech from so long ago. About 2 or 3 years ago, the speech that was given that I gave at Rio, it experienced a kind of resurgence in popularity through YouTube. I don't know how it got there, but it's out there on YouTube. It's in 4 different languages with subtitles, and it's receiving hundreds of thousands of hits. And I've been getting correspondence from people all over the world who want to know about the speech. They're so moved, they're forwarding it to everybody. Why? I think that the reason that people care so much about Rio is, in fact, the answer to the problems of intergenerational crime. And the answer is intergenerational love. Think about it. What is more powerful than a parent's love for their children? I mean, I'm sure you've heard from your families stories of sacrifice for children. What parents have done just for the future of their kids. They've moved across continents, they've left their families, left everything they've known for a better future. And because of intergenerational love, I think youth have an essential role to play in demanding a timeline to this transition to sustainability. You know how parents hate to be called on their hypocrisy, yet adults are influenced in a very profound way by their kids. And very often I get people coming up to me after a speech, and they come up to me and they say, oh, you know, the only reason I recycle, or the only reason I carpool, the only reason I buy organic is because my kid just won't let up. They're harassing me, and they're the reason why I do the right thing. And it's really cute because they're both, you know, kind of annoyed, but they're also really proud because they know their kids are forcing them to do the right thing. So I submit that a challenge from you to your parents is far more powerful than any doctor or scientist's recommendation, than any report that the UN releases. If we truly make the connection between intergenerational crime and our society's actions, if we leverage intergenerational love, I have to believe that our society will do the right thing. So you guys have to recruit your parents. Your parents are business people, they are lawyers, they're doctors, they're politicians, they're house mothers and fathers. These people are actually still the decision makers in our society. They are very powerful people. So you have got to recruit these people to become eco-warriors for your sake, because they love you. I invite you all to take on the appeal of our generation. As those with the future at stake, we need to demand sustainability within a generation. We need to demand it of our parents, our politicians, our employers. We need to demand it of our society. We need them to dig deep into themselves and ask themselves what their legacy is and what they want their legacy to be. So in conclusion, We've been hearing about environmental problems and this dream of sustainability. We've been hearing about this all of our lives. But human societies never change unless they're forced to. And now we have to realize that with the situation being what it is right now, October 2008, we have to force the change. We have to be the ones to force this change. We need sustainability now. We need it within a generation. Right now we have a chance to pass the test at hand. There's a lot of momentum with the environmental movement. There is a chance to revise a destructive economic system. This is actually a very exciting time. Right now, more than ever, each of us directs the future. But what kind of difference we make is up to us. Thank you very much.